Hi, everyone. This is the fall 2021 UYSA and referees meeting, basically to let you guys know about some points of emphasis from UYSA, to thank you all for being referees, point out a couple other quick things, and then to answer any questions you may have. And so if one of your questions is, does UYSA take discipline on referees seriously? The answer is yes. Starting off, my favorite subject, Holly's favorite subject. And if you did 9U games last year, your favorite subject, the 9U and now 10U, no scores, no standings league. It is both leagues have no scores, no standings. The challenge we had last year, first of all, by the way, we've never had so few complaints about misbehavior as we did with the 9Us last year. Okay, you take the score stress away and all of a sudden the coaches and parents are a lot better behaved. But the concern we had was how we are reporting the scores, which is actually 0-0. And I'm about to give you the exact on how we are doing that. You should be seeing a screen. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. This is the report, at least on our side. And now, Holly, you're going to laugh about this. I figured, all right, I'll find a 9U game from last year that was reported correctly. I found 3 game numbers. I looked them all up. They were all wrong. I went to the next 3. I looked them all up. They were all wrong. I did 3 more. They were all wrong. I went back to the video that we did for the U9s and found this game again. So apparently this was the outlier. Whoever Ryan Wood is, I hope he's on the call. If he's not, he gets congratulations. At least he did it correctly. So we enter the score on a 9U and 10U game as 0-0. Now, the difference is if you happen to be a referee for SUIRL, which is Region 6, they're only doing it the 9U level. But for regions 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, Metro North, North Metro, and South, all the scores get entered as 0-0 at the top. And then in comments, you say what the actual score was and any other important comments. The other person who put something in, Seth Law, happened to be the coach of the Metasport team. He was good enough to put in who their CCL was. Linesman's probably incorrect, but he did it. This is perfect. And thank you. Just so you all know, if you don't do it this way, UYSA has to go back in, change all the scores and try to recreate it and put it in 0. And then we add in the comments and all the rest of it. It's a little annoying. It's not horrific, but if we can get it right the first time, that would be great. The second part of that, which I hope you guys just noticed me mentioning, is something called CCLs, Certified Club Linesmen, at the 9U, 10U level are mandatory. They are club linesmen. And if you're not sure what they should or should not be doing, we have that information. Currently, why is my screen sharing paused? Boom. Come on. Here we go. Here's the website. We can go to leagues, we can go to referees, we can go a couple different places. For the time being, we'll go referees, Certified Club Linesmen. Here is the whole screen on CCLs, including this. There's a cute little video, which is 5 minutes and 48 seconds long. I'm in it, so please don't harass me too much. And it explains exactly what CCLs do. A Certified Club Lineman is there to help you and to be part of the referee team, to get more volunteerism out of the parents, to get a little bit of knowledge into the parents, and to hopefully eliminate problems from the sideline. When the parents and the club and the coach all know that this is a person who's part of the referee team and helping out, and it's their parent, they're not going to give them a hard time. CCLs generally only do in and out of bounds. Okay, sideline, end line, which means they have to run, and they can help you on goals in and out. They are not calling fouls. They are not calling offside. Offside's a little tricky anyway at the 9U, 10U level, but we'll talk about that next. The information is here, gives an explanation of what they're doing. Again, they are mandatory. I do not want to tell you how many times we were informed that the referee said, no, I don't need or want your CCL. We ask these parents and these people to volunteer, not only to watch this video, but also to do the full safe sport and concussion protocol. So they've all put in at least a couple hours worth of work, effort to be part of this. We need to use them. We need to use them every time. My preference is if you have a game where a team doesn't have a CCL, put it in the comments and I'll reach out to that team. I've also informed the teams, if you show up and the referee doesn't allow you to use a CCL, put it in the comments and Ms. Holly will be getting in touch with you. So we will handle that. Second question that always comes up with these younger age groups. By the way, does anybody have any questions on the 9U, 10U, no scores, no standings, or the use of certified club linesmen? And I'm not positive if you guys will all. I'm going to stop the screen share so I can see a hand come up if you have it. All right, you guys are the easiest ever. Okay. We're going to go back to sharing. If you have any other questions about what's going on in the 9U, 10U, and the 11-12s and the special rules for them, I know they're on Holly's website, so on the referee website. In addition, on our website, under leagues, under the state competition leagues, scrolling all the way down, age-specific rule update. So if you're about to do a 9U game and you haven't done one, hop on it. And it's going to give you the specific rules that you need to worry about, what's going on with headers, what's going on with build out lines, how exactly is offside called or not called, etc. And surprise, surprise, also has the link to the certified club linesman in the middle. We have that for the 9Us, the 10Us, the 11s, and 12s. 11s and 12s, there's not as much. Just gives you the specifics. The biggie being the indirect free kick on the headers. Okay. And length of time. Popping back to, let's see, did that, it probably didn't, Cindy, did that come over on the screen, share?
You're back to the game scoring. Brilliant.
That's exactly where I want to be. Back to the game score. Oh, wow. Maybe not. Back to the game scoring, talking for just a second about what goes on and what should be put into the comments. Number one, on every single one of these games, hold on, I need to find that game that I had before because it had all the comments I had in there. Under comments, feel free to, first of all, use the comment box. Number two, the game comments review requested box is really important. Uh-oh.
We're still on the, we select the game.
Okay, now do you have the right one?
Yes.
Okay, good. There's a button there that says game comments review requested. I will tell you what we do on our side. That button, if you hit it, I can pull a report first thing Monday morning for a period of time, and every game with that button checked will show up on my screen. And I know to look it up, and I know that there's something important that we need to discuss. What are things that are important that need to be discussed? If you had problems with coaches, if you had problems with parents, if you had problems with players, if you had anything that you thought was notable that you want us to look at, It's like, I really think UYSA should know this. Please put it on there. I will give you an example that you might not think is important. This was last spring. It's probably about a U12 level game. The referee wrote in, he said, look, I'm a pretty seasoned referee. The coach was right on the line, was really pushing it, was right borderline obnoxious. I didn't like him very much, but I never got to a point where I needed to caution or eject him. However, I know younger referees would really have a problem with this type of behavior. It helped us because what's going to happen is inevitably that coach is going to get a younger referee at a later time and is going to misbehave. And then when we go to give discipline on this coach, he's going to claim, what? Just one bad day, there's something wrong with this referee. As much history as we can get on everybody that's misbehaving, the better, even when you don't have to give a caution or an ejection. Even if it's as simple as, hey, I had to talk to the team a couple different times to calm their parents down. Or, hey, this coach complained about everything. Important information for us to have, because that helps us mete out better and more accurate discipline. And hopefully down the road, it helps your fellow referees. The more information you put into your game report, the more information you put into comments, the more it helps your referees. With all that being said, the use of the game comments checkbox has improved greatly. I can't think of a problem game that didn't have the box checked. So that's fantastic. Most of the time when Miss Holly was getting a report from referee about a nightmare, we already knew about it. So that's exactly the way we want it to be.
Hey, Scott, really quick, are the assistant referees allowed to use that comment box as well?
Cindy, do you know the answer to that is about whether or not assistants can make comments in comments?
I believe they can. They can put comments in the comment box. We have had, referees who've done that before.
Okay.
Often that's happened when we've had younger referee as the center and
right,
more
and that's
seasoned as an AR who wrote it out.
That's the case I'm running into since I've been here a lot. So I was wondering if I have that as an option, because I don't know. The one thing I've noticed since I've been out here, some refs are more than happy to just deal with the criticism and fun and excitement from a sideline, whereas some refs are not willing to do that. And I don't know how many are willing to put in that comment. So I can give, my viewpoint as the AR, hey, this parent was belligerent, or hey, this coach was, like you said, walking on the line and being disruptive, very vocal, whatever. So
the more information, the better.
Okay.
And so if I get comments from the referee, 2 ARs, the other coach, team manager, whatever, fantastic. Because if it's a really bad situation, we're getting comments from all those people anyway. Cindy and I, just so you all know, took the Utah specific rules test. Yeah, we got 25 out of 30 the first time, which I apparently would have been passing before and now is barely not passing. So we then got it the second time. We're claiming that the question was slightly vague. That's what we're going with. But what was really clear, extraordinarily clear, was there will be a match report for every game. Thank you for everybody who does a great job of it. Some do better, some do worse. The sooner we get the match report, the better. The more complete the match report, the better. There's gonna be games where the match report is literally, there was nothing notable in this game at all. Game went well, errors were good, we're all fine, thanks. Fine, let's have that. But if it's something bigger than that and there's more information, the more we get in the match report, the better. And then no match report, problematic. So there needs to be a match report every game. We like to say, at least over here, and I'm sure Charles and crew say the same thing over there, your game, you have not finished your job on your game until the match report is done. So believe it or not, I don't have anything else that I needed to say from our side. Cindy, do you have any other comments you wanted to make?
No, but the one thing I'd like to encourage them all to do though, is if you've got problem parents or coaches, please let us know, even if it's just, a 5-minute span in the game, just put in there that at one point the parents were out of control, whether the coach addressed it or not. Because a lot of times we'll get, into the season 2 or 3 games and we go back and we're reviewing every one of, we have a game that just really goes south really bad. And so we're going back and reviewing to see if there's been problems with this team or this coach in any of the previous games. Sometimes when a team has a history or they have a really bad game, we'll put them on probation for the rest of the year and say, we cannot have another bad game report. But when referees don't give us any game report, we really don't have a gauge to know that that's helping with the situation, that the parents have learned their lesson, that coaches, are not writing the referees. So we'd really like to encourage all the referees to, even if it's something simple, it was a great game, no problems, no issues, something simple, just so we know that you actually, gave us a report of what happened. If you put in there the coach was just a jerk, great. That lets us know that the coach, as it comes to us later, if it blows up for some reason, we've got the history and we can say, you've played 4 games, 3 of the games we've had a report that you were just a jerk. So it helps us remediate them and helps get them off you guys' back, and that they understand that that type of behavior is not acceptable in the league at all. Other than that, we just want to say thanks to all of you for being referees, and that we hope you'll keep being referees, and let us know if there's an issue so that we can take care of it.
So I wanted to ask a quick question. Has UYS, I'm assuming UYSA has built a rapport and a relationship with a lot of the clubs and a lot of the coaches?
True.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'd like to throw out a suggestion then. Maybe on the next meeting, if you guys ever sit down with these coaches, let them know that their behavior follows them down the line. And what I mean by that is I'm watching a lot of these coaches that are coaching U15 and below, yelling, screaming at refs. And now little Susie and Johnny thinks it's okay for them to do the same thing as they get older. So here's this behavior by a coach of an 11-year-old girls team or 11-year-old boys team. 4 years down the road, that kid is now, 15, 16 years old. And they think, well, my coach all these years has been yelling at the ref. So I feel it's okay that I can yell at the ref too. Case in point, last year in St. George, I had a kid threaten to kill me. So at the age of 18. So this behavior starts by leadership. And because the leadership, unfortunately, and I get it, everybody gets heated and mad, but that leadership is affecting the team as well. So it's maybe something that can be brought up that, hey, you know what? Good sportsmanship, whether the ref made the right call or not, good sportsmanship should be there, not by just the players, but by the leadership as well.
I would also suggest it goes one step further, or an additional step, which is for those teams where you have a coach who's a screamer and yeller and treats referees disrespectfully. How many players on that team are going to become referees?
Right, exactly.
Right? They have no interest in it. They're just like, why in the world would I volunteer to do that? Well, because it's a pretty well-paying part-time job. Okay, yes, but nobody likes to be harassed. And so, we agree completely with that.
No.
Any other questions or comments?
I would just like to add, if nobody's got any comments or questions from you all, and please spread this to the other referees, to please file reports. What was just described is referee abuse. Nobody wants that. Nobody should have to tolerate that. We need to have a safe work environment. So please, if for whatever reason you decide not to card that person because you don't feel safe, put that in the report, but please file a report so we have the paperwork, so we have the backups for when something happens. And I have full confidence that Scott and Utah Youth will manage this. They've done some terrific things that I don't think they get credit for. They really do have our backs, people.
I can second that.
I'll third that.
Yeah,
Right.
and I can be honest, during the season, when things are hot and heavy and there's a lot going on, frankly, we're going into which is a little bit of a challenging season. It's because the older boys were all playing and they're playing in UYSA, not in high school. So we will have a lot of player discipline that we're going to be dealing with. So we'll have all of those to deal with, plus any coach misconduct. I promise you, I may not always be able to get back to you saying, thank you, we got your report and we're on it. Sometimes you'll get supplemental requests for information, but I promise you, again, if you check the box game comment review requested, the game will be reviewed, and it's likely being reviewed. If it's a Saturday game, we're reviewing it Monday. You know, we will absolutely get right on it. So we're there to help. And then, of course, the ever obvious one is, if you have a question, call us. We're happy to, 801-307-5150, bing. We're happy to talk to you. Any other comments?
I'll make a quick, maybe 2 points if I could, Scott.
Please.
One, thank you so much. This is great. And for the referees, yes, we are going to be using the new 21-22 laws starting this fall season, maybe Monday. I'll get those quickly posted to our website on the homepage under a button there for you. Look for a self-paced Nearpod 21-22 law changes. The second thing is all grassroots referees that are recertifying, that'll be done online this year. There'll be no in-person class for a recertification. If you're a brand new referee entering in, then yeah, we'll hold something special for you, 2 hours, but just recertifying. So if you want to recertify, talk to Miss Holly. But we'd encourage everyone to take that UYSA presentation. It's about 30 minutes, and take the Google Forms quiz. It's 30 questions. Hey, Scott passed it, Cindy passed it, so everyone can do it. It's great. Thank you.
Any other comments? If not, there's an RSL game on, and they'll actually be running hard because it's only 60 degrees outside. All right. Thank you, everyone. Very much appreciated. Thank you for taking your time. Bye, all.
Thanks again for being here.